Hey guys, welcome back to the Struggleville YouTube channel. For this video, I want to talk about this email that came out from Choice Hotels regarding some of the changes that they are making regarding the coronavirus. I want to specifically talk about this because I worked at a Choice property for almost a decade, so I'm somewhat familiar with the process, with how things work here, and I thought I could give you a nugget or tidbit regarding your traveling during the coronavirus. Now, the email talks about cancellation policy, and then it goes on to cleanliness a little bit, practices, changes. So I want to talk about both. We'll go through this real quick. It says, in these times of uncertainty, we want you to know that the safety and health of guests, employees, and franchisees are always a top priority. Now more than ever, our business is you. It's such a weird thing. Franchisees is the thing I want to focus on here because if you don't know, all of these hotels are individually owned by different franchisees, so it's someone in your community that owns the property, or sometimes it's a conglomerate and they own several properties. But the point is that the Choice Hotels has a set of guidelines, brand standards they call it, and cleanliness guidelines. They have all these rules that the franchisees are supposed to follow. It's part of their agreement that you can't do this, you can't do that. But it's still upon the individual franchisees to do those things. And the corporation doesn't have a whole lot of power in enforcing it in a day-to-day or on a day-to-day basis. So it's important to know that. And anyone who's stayed at a bunch of hotels knows that even within the same brand, there's a huge difference in quality or cleanliness of one hotel to the other. So keep that in mind. We understand that with the rapidly changing updates on travel restrictions and canceled or postponed public events, people are in different places when it comes to doing what is best for them and their families. We cannot stress enough that we believe in responsible and safe travel. Travel is who we are, and it is important to us that you feel confident when choosing and staying with Choice Hotels. That's why we are taking the following precautionary measures to provide peace of mind throughout your travels. So the enhanced cancellation policy. First, important to know, at least for Choice Hotels, the standard cancellation policy is 24 hours notice. So typically, you would have to notify the hotel or the booking agent, whoever you made the reservation with, by check-in time the day before your arrival. The other common cancellation policy is up until the start of check-in that day. So if the check-in time is at 3 p.m., you have until 3 p.m. of your day of arrival. But when you made the reservation, it should tell you what the cancellation policy is. Now, sometimes they have really busy times, and hotels can really make the cancellation policy anything they want. They can't cancel it, or they can't change it after you made your reservation. But before you made your reservation, if they wanted, they can make it a week or 2 weeks. I mean, they can make anything they want. They have a lot of flexibility in that regard, but typically those are the two that you see most often. So it says, while we offer flexible rates to our guests year-round, we have also implemented an enhanced cancellation policy during this time. Currently, penalty-free cancellations are provided to guests residing in China, South Korea, Japan, and Italy with reservations at Choice Hotels in the United States and Canada, or guests with reservations at Choice Hotel properties in, they didn't say properties, in China, Japan, and Italy. That is good through March 31st. Now, because we just had this address from the president talking about a travel ban or travel restrictions, whatever you want to call it, from all of Europe, excluding the UK, but Europe and the US, I would imagine this email came out before that they are updating this policy or expanding this policy because it's really hard to charge somebody for a cancellation fee or whatever when their government is not allowing them to make that travel. So I do expect that to be expanded. It also says until March 31st. I don't think this thing's going to be going away in the next 2 weeks, so I would expect to see that expanded also. For travel within the United States or Canada, Choice Hotels is now extending special exceptions for all advanced purchase rate, non-refundable reservations made directly with Choice Hotels. So in this case, advanced purchase rate is something that you can buy through the website. You may be able to use the 1-800 number, but nobody really books the 1-800 number anymore. So on the website, it's a non-refundable reservation, and you get a discount for choosing that option. So at the property I worked at, it was a 20% discount. I don't know if that's the same across the board. I would imagine the individual properties may have some ability to change the discount. But anyways, you're getting a discounted rate for making that advance purchase and agreeing that it is non-refundable. So as soon as you make the reservation, it gets charged right away. That room is yours no matter what. Typically, on a normal reservation, your credit card does not get charged until you check out. So that's the difference there. And instead of getting cash back, which I don't know why they can't do that, they're just giving you choice privilege points. Seems kind of cheap to me. Well, also the whole thing of if you're staying in different countries or whatever, I wish they would just do a blanket, look, if you need to cancel your reservation, we know times are goofy right now, they probably word it better, but just let anyone cancel for any reason for right now. Will you please? Why do we have to get all technical with these things? But they're giving you points instead of your cash back, which I think is stupid, honestly. Guests who booked via online travel agents or other third parties are advised to contact their booking provider for information on their policies for assistance. Now, the reason you have to do that is because when you make a reservation through like Hotels.com or Expedia or any of those other websites, the hotel themselves never get anything more than your name, phone number. I don't even think we get your phone number or address. Basically just your name. Definitely don't have your credit card information before you arrive. So if you were to call the hotel and you booked on Hotels.com, I can cancel your reservation, but I'm not going to because that third party is still going to charge you. And then you're really going to be pissed when you get a bill and you thought you canceled it. So you have to cancel through the avenue in which you made the reservation. So if you make it through those third-party sites, you're really going to be... you want to know whatever their cancellation policy is going to be because none of that stuff that we just talked about is going to apply in this instance because Choice Hotels doesn't have the ability to cancel those. Which, by the way, when speaking specifically of Choice Hotels, they have something they call their lowest price guarantee. And all it is the third-party websites are contractually obligated to offer a rate that is the same or higher than what the hotel themselves can offer guests. So at least for Choice Hotels, there is not a way for the third-party websites to offer you a better rate. However, they can give other incentives if they have a points program or something like that. Typically, you're going to get your best rated hotel when you call the hotel directly, but that's another video for another time. In environmental cleaning practices. As always, we are committed to upholding the highest standard of cleanliness by continuing to work closely with Ecolab, a global leader in cleaning products. Ecolab has shared best practices and latest products that may be useful to combat the spread of COVID-19, and we have also provided our hotels with updated sanitation guidelines. It says more can be found here, but at the time I clicked the link the other day, yesterday, there was nothing more there. As we continue to monitor developments and navigate through these challenging circumstances, we want you to know that you can rely on us, as always, blah, 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 blah. So, the thing about the cleanliness is, as we stated, they're all franchisees, so you are relying on the individual hotels to clean the room. If I were traveling, staying at a hotel during this coronavirus time, and I am worried about potentially contracting coronavirus, I would walk into these rooms as if they have coronavirus and they have not been cleaned at all. Because you are talking about either minimum wage or damn near minimum wage workers who have a low likelihood of probably caring all that much. And two, even if they cared very deeply about it, do not have the time to hazmat clean all of these rooms. The property I was at was 58 rooms. It's a very small hotel. And we would typically have 2 housekeepers. And on really busy days, there was a third housekeeper that could be like on call. Now, checkout time is 11 o'clock. At least at the time I worked there, Choice privilege members could request, and we could not deny, a later checkout. So let's say they don't check out till 12. Check-in starts at 3, but a lot of times people come early. So you have a 3 to 4 hour window to clean all of these rooms. We're talking change the sheets, make the bed, vacuum, fresh towels and soap, get out the door. I don't care what the guidelines are. It doesn't even really matter what they say their new updated guidelines are. It's not going to happen at a lot of properties because they don't have the manpower to do it. They don't have the time to do it. But also, there's no way for Choice Hotels to enforce this at an individual property level. They can't have representatives at every hotel to check to make sure people are doing things. And the whole guidelines, this is what it's going to be. This is what I imagine is going to be. The system that Choice uses is called Choice Advantage. It's a web-based system. Every employee, desk employee, has a login and password. You're going to log in. There's an opening kind of a welcome type screen, and it has latest news. So they're going to have a news thing, or maybe they'll have it set up to automatically pop up, and it's going to tell you what they're doing. It's probably going to be similar to this letter, and they're going to give you a couple of procedures for cleaning. So a desk employee, they're going to say, oh, wipe down all these surfaces, and they may even do a schedule like every hour, every 4 hours. They're not going to do that. I guarantee you these employees, if they're anything like the hotel I worked at, they are lazy. They are not going to do any of that. The only thing they might clean is stuff behind the desk that they are touching all of the time. The pen, look, how many people are going to come in contact with this employee? They're handing them credit cards. They're handing them pens. It's all going across the counter there. People are going to sit on the couches. They're going to fiddle through magazines or newspapers that are there. Just don't touch anything. When you go to the lobby, don't touch anything. As little as you possibly can. There's going to be a bathroom most likely in the lobby. As soon as you get done checking in, go to the bathroom, wash your hands. Immediately. First thing you do. But anyway, going back to the system, that's the desk employees are going to get just a simple, maybe bullet point thing of, oh, you should do this, you should do this, you should do that. The GM is probably going to get a separate procedural thing, and it may be even come into their GM email, but it'll say, post this in the housekeeping room or area, whatever terminology they use, and it'll be probably an expanded guidelines of what they want in every room as it is cleaned. I'm telling you, it's not going to happen at a lot of properties, or they start out the first couple days doing it, and then it's, hey, we have 10 people checking in, and we still have to clean 7 other rooms. Guess what, guidelines? Out the window. We don't got time for you. We got people coming in. Now, when they clean the rooms, even generally speaking, they change the sheets, the pillowcases, but the blankets, that didn't get washed before you got in there. The comforters, that didn't get washed. They will get washed if they have an obvious stain or they're on a schedule. Once a week, once every couple of weeks, once every couple of months. There's no guideline on that. Nothing that could be enforced anyway. So even without the coronavirus, the first thing I do when I go to a hotel is rip that blanket off, rip the comforter off, throw it in the corner, don't ever touch it again. I don't want that anywhere near me because I know it's dirty. Get some wipes, disinfectant wipes, pretend like no one has cleaned that room. Anything you might touch, wipe it down. Everything. Also, I don't know how the coronavirus thing works with like fabrics, because they said on hard surfaces it can be up to 9 days, which is kind of crazy. But for like fabrics, how long it would last on that, and you can't really, I don't know how good you can wipe that kind of stuff down. I would avoid soft surfaces altogether, because also if the hotel has bugs like bed bugs and stuff, the soft surfaces are where those are at. So you don't throw your stuff on the ground, you don't put your stuff in the chair, you don't sit in the cushioned chair. Okay, get the little luggage rack that's metal and like nylon or whatever. Put your luggage up on the desk or the table. Avoid soft surfaces anytime as much as you possibly can. So the room, you pretend like no one's cleaned it at all. You clean it yourself. Because especially when it comes to your health, no one cares more about your health than you. The housekeeper certainly doesn't. And for breakfast, don't eat the breakfast. Most hotels, it's the desk clerk who is setting up the breakfast. Sometimes it's a housekeeper, or sometimes on a bigger hotel, there's a designated person that just does breakfast. But on a lot of the smaller properties, it's going to be the desk person. So they're dealing with checking people out. They are, again, handing them the pens and the credit cards and the receipt and all this stuff, and things are going back and forth. And then someone's going to say, hey, you're out of bagels, and they got to go get the bagels. You think, even with the person with the best intentions, they're rushing around, they got more than one job to do, they're not washing their hands every time. They may just, not like they're trying to be dirty, but they're in a hurry. They got, 10 different people telling them to do different things. You're trying to do it as quick as you can. I'm just telling you that don't eat the breakfast. The pool, I bet, is pretty safe because I would imagine the chlorine would kill this thing just like, it's designed to kill every other thing to make pools clean and safe. So that area, I would imagine, is maybe the safest spot in the whole hotel. I don't know. But my main focus here was clean the room yourself, because you can't rely on the hotel to clean the room. The disinfectant wipes wipe down everything, and I mean everything. The shower handles, the faucet, countertops, the TV remote. It's not very popular, but some hotels have what was the term they used for it? It's like an antimicrobial remote. And basically all it is it doesn't have traditional buttons with all those little crevices and stuff. It's like one layer of plastic with just like the little bubble buttons, So they're really easy to clean. I actually like them better because I think they are cleaner than the traditional style remotes. Oh man, the door handle, both sides of the handle, the deadbolt, the hasp block. Wipe it all down, man. All of it. So anyway, this email came out. I want to put my 2 cents out into the world. So there it is. Thanks for watching. Give the video a like, subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Maybe someday we'll do some more hotel-related videos. I got some good stories on that. And interesting procedural things that happen. Alright, thanks for watching, guys.